hang his head high from the job he did today. 4th place in the end. He threw everything at the World Championship battle today and throughout the season.
Pekka Bagnaia, the first European rider on a European manufactured motorcycle to win the Premier Class title since Phil Reed did so in 1974 for MB. And this is the moment, the realisation of a lifetime's work. A dream comes true for Pekka Bagnaia here in Valencia. The 9th place though secures him Ducati's first title in 15 years. There's the embrace between sporting director Paolo Ciabatti. A special mention in dispatches as well for his crew chief Christian Gavarini, who was the technical brains, the technical mastermind behind Casey Stoner's 2007 success for Ducati. The cool down lap begins then for Pekka Bagnaia. He proudly waves the Italian flag, just the 7th Italian rider to win a Premier Class title. There it is, ending a 50-year drought. The last time an Italian rider riding for an Italian brand, well, that was Giacomo Agostini on the MV 50 long years ago now, way back in 1972. That's why it's the title-winning hashtag, because it has been Pekka Bagnaia and Ducati in 2022. The perfect combination.
And the number 1 does adorn the front of that Ducati. The 15-year wait is over for them. Of course, many have tried over the last 15 years. Valentino Rossi, of course, himself joined Ducati in 2011 to try and bring the glory days back to Bologna. Of course, Nicky Hayden, much missed, is, of course, one of the riders who's tried. Andrea Dovizioso, over so many years, ran Marc Marquez to the limit to try and take the title. Andrea Ione's also had a go. Jack Miller, of course, who's been a big part of the Ducati story. But it is Pekka Bagnaia who ends their 15-year wait for a world title. Congratulations, of course, go to Alex Rins here this afternoon and to Suzuki. They win 2 of their final 3 races in MotoGP. The Hollywood finish for Suzuki as they bid farewell to MotoGP, and thanks to Alex Rins, they go out on top.
What an absolute superstar performance that was by Alex Rins and on the factory Suzuki. The race winner here by just under 0.4 of a second. What a way to bow out for the Hamamatsu factory. As Pekka Bagnaia then, he will soak up every millimetre of this cool down lap of this 4-kilometre Riccardo Tormo circuit. P1 for number 1 in 2022 this year. The crowd are on their feet. Brad Binder, what an ending to 2022 for him. He starts and finishes the year on the podium for the Red Bull KTM Factory Racing team. Had he been able to get through maybe on Quartararo, Bagnaia and Miller early on, well, he might have had something for Alex Rins, taking nothing away from the Suzuki man. Jorge Martin does end his winless, unfortunately, 2022 campaign on the podium for Prima Pramac Racing. Not a bad way to finish the season for Martin, because of course he did it from 3 consecutive pole positions.
Of course, 3rd place in the World Championship does go to Enea Bastianini, the teammate to our world champion Pekka Bagnaia next season. Bastianini finished 8th in the end in that Grand Prix, but with Aleix Espargaro pulling out very early on in that Grand Prix. Bastianini overhauls the Aprilia man who ends the year in 4th. And Brad Binder only ends the season 1 point behind Jack Miller. He very nearly pinched 5th place in the World Championship. Had he passed Rins on the final lap, that would have been his. But in the end, the only number that matters today is the number 1, and the number 1 belongs to Pekka Bagnaia.
Well, in about 3 or 4 hours' time, he'll need to get himself suited and booted. In Ducati this evening, you're not going to get much sleep, because Ducati are going to paint the town red, aren't they? No question. And why wouldn't they be? Because this has been a long and at times a very painful and difficult wait for them. They've had high-profile riders like Valentino Rossi, Andrea Dovizioso, Jorge Lorenzo try and fail to put Ducati back in a position of supremacy and authority in this MotoGP World Championship. But the Marshals salute our new MotoGP World Champion. Confirmation of our 2022 MotoGP World Champion Pecco Bagnaia, Ducati's first rider title since 2007. They do clinch the Triple Crown. What a season it has been for the Bologna factory. Constructor champions, Team World Champions in Malaysia last time out for the Ducati Lenovo team. But Pecco Bagnaia.
They started the season, of course, as the favourites with many for the World Championship this season, Pecco Bagnaia, but then started the year with two wins in the flyaways, 3 wins in the first 7 races. He celebrates his honour as the best independent rider of this season, and he will be joining his future teammate Bagnaia at the FIM MotoGP Awards Gala later on. He will wear the bronze medal as our 3rd best rider of the year.
So the celebrations, what will be very wild and vociferous celebrations for Ducati, can now well and truly get underway. There is a great shot there, love that. An embrace between Pecco Bagnaia and his crew chief Christian Gabarini. Onto his Ducati he goes. A very respectful and gracious round of applause. But listen to the roars, listen to the cheers as Pecco Bagnaia starts his reign as MotoGP World Champion.
He's such a nice guy as well. You won't meet a nicer guy in the MotoGP paddock. He's quite shy and unassuming. You can see there the enormity of what he's achieved.